Welcome back. We are the Connellys. I'm Melissa.
I'm Kim.
And we're back to talk about our first appointment with the fertility doctor. So,
a lot of information.
And I'm super sad because you weren't able to be there.
I mean, she filled me in very beautifully, but it would have been nice to kind of be there to hear everything firsthand too. So,
well, luckily I'm a good note taker. So, key takeaways from this appointment. So, we found out 3 different things that I think are really, really interesting and unexpected. 1, they needed your entire medical history, which
I'm not carrying yet.
Yeah, but they still wanted to know about her ovulation cycle, your periods, cramps, like medical history, to the point where I actually asked a couple times. I was like, so I'm here for me, like my wife's not carrying. So I'm glad that you weren't there. I think your face would have been like, really?
But luckily she knows pretty much everything about me.
Yeah, I listen when you talk, so that works out really well. 2, we both have to get STD tests. So again, kind of interesting, considering I'm the one that's carrying, but I don't know, a friend of ours.
I mean, I guess if I have something, you could possibly get it, and then I see it.
See, medical background right there. That's what one of my friends said as well.
Yeah.
But so 3rd, apparently we both have to see a psychiatrist.
Yes.
So that's interesting because the fertility doctor told me that this is a statewide requirement, but I've actually talked to some friends who didn't actually have to do that went through, IUI, IVF, etc., and didn't have to see a therapist. So I'm wondering if that's just our hospital system.
It's possible.
Or whether it's actually statewide. Either way, I'm a huge advocate for mental health, and I think it's a great idea for everyone starting a family. I know that, my parents had me at 20 and 21, and I'm pretty sure that some therapy might have helped be mentally prepared to have a child. But yeah. So, I mean, how do you feel about the therapy?
I think it's great. I think it should be required for all couples and families, no matter what sex and gender they are, just because the whole process can be daunting for anybody, and bringing forth a new child, and if you already have a toxic environment and then you're bringing a child into that, like how does that affect them and you? And so I think it's just beneficial for everybody, but it should be required of everybody, and it should also be covered by insurance, which I don't think it is.
Completely agree. Fun fact, Kim and I went to premarital counseling before we got married. Just because I felt like it would be a good idea to have the healthiest, we're taking that dog toy, to have the healthiest marriage possible. So, like I said, I think that it's a good idea for everybody. I just want it to be required for everyone. So there's that. But the good news from the appointment, which I saved the best I did it too. I saved the best for last, was finding out that I am a good candidate for IUI, which, so excited about it.
Very exciting.
So essentially, well, it's not TMI because you all are here for this. So my periods are on time, I ovulate regularly. So they factored out polycystic ovarian syndrome, which unfortunately happens to so many people. And with all of the information and the data that I've been collecting, they had determined that I would be a good candidate for IUI, and we don't have to resort to IVF unless IUI is unsuccessful. They said we could revisit that topic after 6 months and see where we are, but fingers crossed that it's successful, hopefully, on the first try, because I'm sure we'll talk about this later. IVF is expensive.
Very expensive.
Really expensive. So I'm sure that some of you watching already know that. Some of you watching might not know that. We'll go into that topic later. But we're really, really excited to find out that we're good candidates for IUI.
Yes.
And that we get to move on in the process.
Which I don't know what happens next in the process.
So next in the process, good, thank you for bringing that up. It's like an open door.
Yes. I only know things that she gives me a list, and I say, okay, I'll do that, and then that's all I know. So, and I have the memory of a goldfish.
Well, that's a good point. So our next steps are we actually have to schedule a phone call, which is a donor teach. We have to schedule that with an NP. And they didn't actually give me any details on what that call goes over, but essentially it's, from what I've heard from other people, it sounds like we're going to go over essentially, the psychological implications of using a third party to start our family. They said it's something they require for everybody that's using a third party to conceive. So really just crossing the bases with he's the most disruptive creator we have. But we love him.
He's so cute.
I know, he's adorable. So yeah, that's our next step. We've got to get through that, and then we can schedule to get tested for STDs and schedule our psychiatrist appointment. So stick around, bear with us. We're going to be here giving you guys all the details and the behind the scenes sneak peeks.
Stay tuned.
Bye.
Bye.
You are disruptive, sir. Come here. Mr. Spice. There goes the dog chasing the cat. His face is like going back and forth.